A story about a young girl named Heidi, who's been stuck living with her Aunt Daytay in a place she can't leave, suddenly finds herself on a big adventure. For 5 years, Heidi's whole world was just a room and a roof. But now, Aunt Daytay has to move to Frankfurt for work and decides Heidi should live with her grandpa in the Swiss Alps. Even though neighbors say the grandpa is a bit of a hermit and not too friendly, Daytay has no choice. So, they head up the mountain, and Heidi, excited to be free, takes off her boots and fancy dress to explore in her slip. It feels like she's finally free from being stuck inside for so long. But the welcome from Grandpa Alpol is as cold as winter in the Alps. He's not happy to see them, not at all, and tells them to go away. But here's where it gets complicated. Aunt Daytay, pretending to leave with Heidi, hides her behind the house and then leaves. Grandpa finds out. They argue, but Heidi's stuck there now, refusing to let Heidi in. Grandpa Alpol locks his door, leaving Heidi to sleep in the barn with the goats for the night. In the morning, things get a little better. Grandpa gives Heidi some goat milk for breakfast and even takes her to church. The priest, seeing Heidi, tells Grandpa it's his responsibility to take care of his granddaughter. But Grandpa's heart is as tough as the mountains. The priest then says he'll take Heidi with him in 3 days to find her a new home, maybe with a farmer in Mayenfeld. Heidi, unsure if she'll be sleeping in the barn again, is told by Grandpa she can sleep wherever she wants. With just one bed and one chair in Grandpa's house, Heidi picks a hay-filled attic as the perfect spot for her. The next day, a boy named Peter, who looks after goats, comes by, and Grandpa sees a chance for Heidi to learn about life in the mountains. He suggests Peter take Heidi along. It's a chance for Heidi to see more of the world she's been thrown into, and maybe start a new chapter of her life in the mountains. Heidi's days get really exciting when she starts hanging out with Peter, a local kid, to walk around the mountains with goats. But their fun hits a snag when Peter secretly eats some of Heidi's lunch and tries to blame the goats. Things get a bit messy when 2 goats start fighting, and Peter, trying to break it up, ends up hitting them with a stick. Heidi, who's all about being nice, makes a deal with Peter. If he promises not to hit the goats again, she'll share her lunch with him every day. Peter agrees, but only if Heidi keeps quiet about some bad stuff from Alpohi's past that people in town talk about. When Heidi gets back, she acts differently around Alpohi, like she's heard the rumors. Alpohi, who's smart and notices things, tells Heidi to trust what she knows, not just what people say. Deciding to trust in the good stuff she's seen, Heidi gets closer to her grandpa, making their relationship stronger. The story gets really sweet when Alpohi, touched by Heidi's trust, makes another chair for their table, a quiet way of saying Heidi belongs there. Life is great, with Heidi and Peter having all kinds of fun, so much that Heidi even cuts her hair short to make things easier. But then things start to change. Peter has to go to school, leaving Heidi wishing she could learn and hang out with others too. The people in town also think it's important for Heidi to go to school and make friends. But Alpohi, worried about the cold winter and being so isolated in the mountains, isn't sure. As winter comes and covers everything in snow, Heidi starts to get bored. Alpohi, wanting to make her happy, makes a wooden bird. But the real fun starts when he builds a sleigh. They have a blast sliding through the snow, laughing all the way. Later, they visit Peter's family, and Heidi gets to see more about how people live together, through the good times and the bad. Peter's grandma is having a hard time because she can't see well and has lost most of her teeth, which makes it hard for her to eat, especially when they only have tough old bread. Meanwhile, Peter is not enjoying school. He doesn't get why he has to learn reading when he just wants to look after goats. Even though he complains, his mom tells him he can't quit school. Jumping ahead, Heidi has a deep talk with Alpohi, her grandpa, telling him how thankful she is to have him in her life. Time passes, and Heidi lives a peaceful and happy life with Alpohi in the mountains. Suddenly, Daytay, Heidi's aunt, comes back with news. She says she's found a great chance for Heidi with her bosses in the city, offering friends and schooling. But Alpohi doesn't budge, wondering why Daytay suddenly cares so much about Heidi's future. An embarrassed Daytay says she had no other option but to leave Heidi before. Even so, Alpohi doesn't change his mind. Daytay doesn't quit. She goes to talk to Heidi by the goats, even saying Alpohi thinks it's best for her. Feeling let down, Heidi agrees to go with Daytay, and Peter sees this. When Alpohi finds out Heidi's gone, He rushes to town, but it's too late. Daytay and Heidi have already left, and the neighbors tease Alpohi for losing Heidi. In Frankfurt, Heidi gets to the big Seisman mansion, meets Sebastian the butler, Tinette the maid, and the strict governess Rottenmeier, who isn't happy with Heidi's wild look. Despite Rottenmeier's concerns, Daytay reminds her they wanted a fresh kid to be a friend to Clara, the daughter of the house who uses a wheelchair. Right from the start, Heidi and Clara get along great, like they were meant to be friends. Their friendship gets a quick test when Heidi, still getting used to the place, accidentally bumps Clara's wheelchair into a table. Clara, showing how much she values their friendship, takes the blame to protect Heidi from getting in trouble with Rottenmeier, who's very strict. Getting used to life in the Seisman mansion is a big change for Heidi. The people who work there clean her up, dress her nicely, and teach her all these new rules, like how to act at the dinner table and that she needs to be quiet in the house. Heidi, who hasn't been to school before, surprises everyone by not knowing how to read, which worries Rottenmeier about whether Heidi's the right friend for Clara. Despite the challenge, Heidi quickly learns to read while keeping up with Clara's lessons. But Heidi stays true to herself, sneaking snacks and always dreaming about the mountains, which she misses a lot compared to the city's tight spaces. Clara and Heidi's friendship grows as they share personal stories and dreams. Clara talks about feeling lonely after her mom died and how her sickness made her unable to walk. Heidi's arrival brings new excitement to Clara's life, promising adventure and friendship. One day, missing the mountains, Heidi convinces Sebastian to open a window, hoping to see her beloved Alps, but realizes the city's tall tower might give her the view she's looking for. They go out, a special outing for Clara, to find the city tower. Although the tower doesn't give Heidi the view she hoped for, the adventure makes Clara happy, especially when she decides to buy all the kittens from a street vendor. Their absence worries everyone back at the mansion, with Rottenmeier panicking and the staff looking for them. Sebastian finds them, and they sneak the kittens into the mansion. When they get back, Rottenmeier tries to scold them, but it turns funny when the kittens escape, making Rottenmeier allergic and causing a mess. Her climbing on furniture to avoid the kittens makes everyone laugh, bringing a fun moment to the usually strict mansion. At dinner one night, Heidi gets into big trouble. She has to stand in the corner and can't eat with everyone else. Rottenmeier, the super strict housekeeper, even says Heidi might have to spend a night in the basement with the rats if she causes more problems. But Heidi's not the type to just give up. After dinner, she tries to take all the bread rolls she saved for Peter's grandma and run away. Rottenmeier catches her and scolds her, saying she should be thankful for the nice clothes and schooling she's getting. But what really gets to Heidi is seeing Clara, her only friend in the big house, crying and going off to be alone. After this, Heidi starts having bad dreams, and Clara doesn't want to see anyone, getting really sick. Tinette, another worker, blames Heidi for making Clara sick, which makes Heidi feel really bad. When Clara gets a bit better, Heidi tells her she doesn't want to leave because she doesn't like her, but because she misses her home. Clara gets it, but she's sad about possibly losing her friend. Heidi still struggles with reading, even when Clara's dad, Mr. Seisman, and his mom, Grandma Seisman, come to visit, which bothers Rottenmeier. Clara's happy to see her family, and they like Heidi too, seeing she's been good for Clara. Despite Rottenmeier trying to make Heidi look bad, Grandma Seisman decides to see for herself what Heidi's like. In a nice moment, Grandma Seisman reads Heidi a story, but stops before the end to get Heidi interested in reading. Heidi says she can't read, thinking like her friend Peter, that reading's not important. Grandma Seisman, getting that Heidi loves stories, tells her to work harder at reading. The next day, Grandma Seisman tells her son Heidi's smart but not happy in the house. Mr. Seisman knows Heidi's been great for Clara, but doesn't want her to leave. Something Grandma Seisman thinks is because he feels bad about Clara being lonely. While all this is happening, weird things start going on in the house. Strange noises at night and the front door being left open. In the big house, there are rumors about ghosts that scare the workers and even Rottenmeier, but Mr. Seisman isn't buying it. With all these spooky stories going around, Heidi really gets into reading, finishing the story Grandma Seisman left for her. Mr. Seisman thinks it's all thanks to the teacher, which makes Clara happy, but leaves Heidi feeling even more homesick, crying quietly every night. The mystery behind the strange noises in the house catches Mr. Seisman and the doctor's attention one night while they're playing chess, leading them to look for any trespassers, only to find Heidi sleepwalking. Her sleepwalking to the door, like she's trying to get to the mountains, shows how much she misses home, especially when they find her cold and holding onto the bread rolls for Peter's grandma. The doctor says Heidi's really homesick and tells Mr. Seisman she needs to go back to the mountains to feel better. Thinking about what happened to his late wife, Mr. Seisman agrees, even though Clara really doesn't want Heidi to leave, showing how close they've become. Heidi's mixed about leaving. She's excited to see Alpohi again but worried about Clara. Even though Heidi tries to cheer her up, Clara pulls away, sad about her friend leaving. When Heidi leaves, the workers give her a basket with bread rolls and snacks for the trip, and she gives Mr. Seisman a wooden bird for Clara, hoping to come back and visit. Rottenmeier's glad Heidi's gone, but that doesn't last long when a kitten, now named Heidi, starts causing trouble, reminding everyone of Heidi's influence. Back in the mountains, Heidi's super happy, getting back to her old life with Alpohi and Peter. She has to adjust to going to school in town during winter, facing a tougher learning environment and dreaming of being a writer, even though her classmates make fun of her. Despite these hurdles, Heidi does well, unlike Peter, who still finds reading hard. But Heidi's optimistic, helping him as much as she can. Heidi, back where she loves in the mountains, keeps in touch with Clara by sending letters full of stories and sharing how much she misses her. When Clara gets these letters, she feels bad for not saying goodbye, which leads Grandma Seisman to plan a trip to the mountains with some helpers to bring the two friends back together. At their happy reunion, Grandma Seisman suggests to Alpohi, Heidi's grandpa, over a friendly drink, that Clara should stay a bit. Alpohi happily agrees, saying there's no need to pay because Clara is a guest, not just a visitor. Mountain life is all new for Clara, but she gets into it quickly, wearing simple clothes, eating without fancy utensils, and even sleeping outside on hay. But not everyone is happy about Clara being there. Peter gets jealous of Heidi spending time with Clara, and, in a mean move, pushes Clara's wheelchair off a cliff. Alpohi figures out Peter did it and makes sure Clara can still enjoy the mountains by carrying her, scolds Peter for what he did, and tells him to watch out for them that day. The mountains seem magical for Clara, who tries to catch a butterfly and ends up standing, which starts her on the path to walking again. With Heidi and a sorry Peter supporting her, Clara works hard and begins to walk, surprising everyone. When Grandma Seisman and Clara's dad come and see Clara walking to them, they're amazed and happy, showing how much the mountains and friendship can heal. As a goodbye present, Grandma Seisman gives Heidi a notebook and pen, telling her to keep writing, even if others aren't kind about it. After Clara goes back home, Heidi continues her life in the mountains with Peter, now also writing about her adventures, showing how strong friendship, bravery, and following your dreams can be. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.